Hi guys, good evening. So today we'll be starting with the CCNA, and before I start with the CCNA course, let me walk you through a few things that what all the things you'll be getting with this particular course, how our sessions are going to be. Okay. And today we are going to just have an introduction session only. We'll not be discussing anything very technical. Okay, just the introduction part. What is Cisco? What are different Cisco products? Okay, what is CCNA certification and what does the exam scenario is? Okay, what is the software we are going to use and as well as the curriculum of your CCNA. This is the part that we will discuss today. Then tomorrow onwards, slowly we'll start with the technical part. Like I said, this week we will be going very slow, and next week onwards we will be pacing up and we'll be stretching the length of our sessions, right? So initially, like maybe this week we will just do the sessions like 1:30, 1:45. After that, as per requirement, once we are into technical, then we will speed up. Okay. Anytime if you face like okay, our sessions are going slow, you can tell me. If you feel like sessions are going fast, again you can tell me. Anytime you have a doubt, you can stop me right there and you can ask me. Is that clear? Okay. Now, first of all, let me talk about the things that you guys will be getting with this particular course. So first of all the sessions, okay, they will be recorded. So all the session recordings you will be getting, and session recordings you will be getting in the Google Drive. These things you will be getting in the Google Drive. So for Google Drive, I'll be sharing a form link by the end of today's session, and you guys submit the form. And make sure to submit the form today itself, so that by tomorrow you get the access. Okay. Number two, we'll have a WhatsApp group. Okay. So WhatsApp group we'll be having for the information exchange. If you have a doubt, anytime you're practicing, you get a doubt, take a screenshot, take your configuration screenshot, drop it in the group, we can discuss. Okay, that is one thing. Now, another thing, if you have any information to share, okay, or if I have some information to share, so we'll be exchanging that information within the group itself. About the WhatsApp group, so WhatsApp group link will be available in the drive. Your WhatsApp group invite link will be available in the drive itself. As soon as you get the access, make sure to join the group. Okay. As soon as you get the access, make sure to join the group because I'll not be manually adding everybody. There will be a link for you available there. You just click on the link, you join the group. Clear? Okay. Other than this, let's talk about study materials. What all the study materials I'll be sharing with you. So first of all the materials like all the presentations, what I'll be using for training purpose, I'll be sharing those. Other than that, I'll be sharing, let's say, sometimes I will use, or not sometimes, most of the times I'll be using Paint for explanation purposes, right? So all those Paint files also I'll share. Whatever I'll be creating here, I'll be sharing it in the drive so that you guys don't miss out when you're going through the videos, as well as if you want to practice. So nothing should be missed. Those things I'll share. Other than that, I'll be sharing with you official Cisco certification guides for CCNA. Okay, we have 2 volumes for it. Both the volumes I'll be sharing. Other than that, one extra book I'll be sharing so that if you feel, see, actual official certification guide for Cisco, that is too lengthy. That will contain very much extra topics and extra explanation, which is not required. So if you are someone like who wants to brush up the concepts quick, in that case, I'll be sharing one more book with you, which is concise, sweet and short explanation. Okay. So those things I'll be sharing. Other than that, I'll be sharing with you the lab guide where all the labs will be there. I'll be sharing with you full configuration guide, which will contain all the possible commands for your CCNA with topic. Okay. According to topic, what all the commands you require, all those commands will be there in the lab guide. Lab workbook I'll share where there will be different topologies and tasks for you are there. So you guys can design the labs and practice. Other than that, what else I'll be sharing? I'll be sharing a interview booklet with you, which will contain around 200 plus interview questions with their answers. And I think this will be more than sufficient for what you require for CCN. And still, if you want deeper knowledge, so I'll be sharing TCP books also. Okay. So eventually, how your drive will look like, see here. Once you have all this stuff, how your drive will look like. So let's say one of the batch I'll show you. So this will be your drive with your batch number, and there will be date of starting and whatever the time it is. This kind of three things will be there. One will be your WhatsApp group invite link where you'll click and join the group. Then documents and video folder will be there. So if you click on the video folder, day wise, I'll be mentioning like what is the topic we have discussed. Okay, so that later on when you're referring to the videos, you don't have to go and search every video for the topic, that which topic you want to revise. Okay, so I'll be mentioning everything from day 1 to day 25. It will take us around 20 to 25 sessions to complete the CCNA. That means around 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, depending on our pace. Okay, and I can see most of you are engineers, so I believe we will be completing within 2022 itself. Okay, but we'll see. As per the requirement, we will adjust. We can extend also, we can reduce also. That is totally fine. Okay, so day wise, I'll be mentioning all these things. Other than that, in the documents, these all things you'll be getting, which is I'll be sharing with you the books. In the books, you can see that I'll be sharing with you official certification guide, configuration, lab documents, modules. Okay, this is one extra for ethical hacking, not required for CCNA. Career path, then we have how to master CCNA. This is the short and sweet, concise book. Okay, if you want to master your CCNA concepts. Then lab workbook, interview booklet, and these three are TCP books. Very important interview perspective. Okay, so if you are interested in TCP, if you want to learn deeper, you can refer to these three books also. These will be the bookish part. Then after paint files, so whatever the paint files I'll be using. Okay, so whatever I'll be creating, I'll be sharing. Other than that, practice questions. So let's say we will be doing with subnetting, right? So in those kind of concepts, we will require practice. So there I'll be sharing with you the practice questions. Presentations. So for training purpose, whatever the presentations I'll be using, those presentations I'll be sharing here. Other than that, this is TCP, like I said. Go through the books, or TCP is something that is really important for a network engineer. Okay. So I have created, these are my own created, these are not the books. Okay, I have created these documents. So I'll be sharing these documents also where I have explained everything in small. Okay. So this is how your drive is going to look like. And it will be more than sufficient what you require for your CCNA. Is that clear? Okay. So all the study materials will be shared with you. Other than that, if we talk about our sessions, so sessions are going to be from Monday to Friday. Okay. This will be from Monday to Friday. Timing, as you all know, we have 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. But mostly I'll be working around, 6:45 or so. Why? Because again, I have one more batch at 8 p.m. Okay. So I have to run for that batch also. Okay. So this is it. And if we require extra time, I'll be using that also. But like I said, anytime you feel if I'm going too much for the day, you
Hi,
tell me.
Ajay.
Hi. Yes, please tell me.
Uh, my instructor has said that the classes will be from morning 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. from the coming week.
So I'm not sure. You need to check with the management. This is a 5 to 7 p.m. session.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Yes. So this is clear. The timing will be 5 to 7 and we'll adjust it according to requirement. So like I said, if you feel like I'm going too fast, you let me know. We can slow down. If you think we are going slow, you tell me, we can speed up. Both things are like both the options we have. So these are all the things that we will be going through. And other than that, I'll be walking you through the physical lab also. Okay. In the physical lab, I'll be showing you how to take access of the device, like the physical devices, what you have in front of you. Okay. How you will be taking the physical access, how you'll be working on them. Okay. We'll understand there are some things like we have to understand there is something called as physical topology. There is something called as logical topology, but all these things are technical. So we'll be understanding as per our session. Okay. Then how to work on the devices now. Now, most of our practice we will be doing on a software that is provided by Cisco. Okay. Which is Cisco Packet Tracer. Most of our practice we'll be doing in this. What is it? It's a simulation software. Okay, where we will have different routers and switches. Okay, because every time if we start connecting physical devices, it will take us a lot of time. Okay, it will take us a lot of time to just connect the devices and bring them up, because they will take a lot of time to start up also. Okay, so that's why we'll be using this simulation software, and this is more than sufficient for your CCNA practice. Clear? Yes, I'll give you a chance. First of all, I'll be showing you that how to physically access the lab. Then after that, all 7 days from morning 8 to evening 8, our labs are open. You come anytime, you practice, totally fine. If you face a problem, if you get stuck in the labs, we have dedicated lab trainers. They will help you with your problems right at that moment. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything. Is that clear? Because every time, every day, I cannot walk you to the lab, then we will not be able to complete the syllabus also. So that part also I have to take care of. So what we'll be doing, theoretical part and conceptual part, and practice in the simulation software, that we'll be doing in the classroom. One time I'll show you that how you will be accessing the lab, how you will be doing the practices. After that, you can come anytime as per your slot, whenever you feel comfortable, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. You come, you practice, no problem. Yeah. All right. We should have our own laptop for lab. So yes, for the simulation software, you will require your own software. I mean, your own system you will require. Okay. And this is not a very large software, and it is not going to consume very high-end resources also. Okay. If you have a 4 GB laptop, like 4 GB RAM system also, it is totally fine. Okay. It is totally fine. You can. Clear? So these are all the things that you guys will be getting and what we'll be going through. Now let me discuss about the CCNA introduction, and then I'll show you through the curriculum also, like what are the topics. Raj, I haven't shared the details to anyone yet. By the end of the session, I'll be sharing. So, okay, just submit the form and you guys will be getting the access.
Got it, Ajay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, let me start the PT. Okay, so CCNA. CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate. So, like this is an entry level certification where you start your career in IT. So, if you are non-technical or if you want to switch your, domain, in that case, CCNA is your starting point. Now, in this particular curriculum, we'll be going everything from the scratch. I'll be telling you everything that you need to know. Okay. I'll be explaining you everything you need to know. If you do not understand, just let me know. I'll try some different approach. Okay. And multiple times I'll be asking. Multiple times I'll be asking you guys whether it is clear or not. Right at that moment, you can tell me that, okay, we didn't understand. We can try something else. Okay. So this is a certification that is provided by Cisco Systems. And if we talk about Cisco, so Cisco, we call it as a worldwide leader in the IT and networking, because majority of the networks, they are designed on Cisco. Okay. So now Cisco is a organization that is providing devices that are helping you to communicate with each other. That means networking, right? Network devices, they are manufacturing. So they help companies of all sizes to transform on how people will connect, how they will communicate with each other, how they will collaborate with each other, right? So if we talk about the headquarters of Cisco, so they are in San Jose, California. Okay. Now, what are the products Cisco is manufacturing? We say that, okay, with the help of Cisco product, people are able to connect and communicate. Okay, organizations are able to connect and communicate, but how? What are those products? So some of those products are what? Your routers, switches, firewalls, okay, IP phones, then wireless access points are there, wireless controllers are there. These kind of devices are there. Now, router. Okay. So router is a device that is responsible for providing communication between different network. Now, what do I mean with a different network? Let's say right now at my home, okay, consider this thing. This is my home. In my home, I have few devices. Okay, I have a computer. I have a one more computer, you can say, like let's say two PCs I have. Now, what is the simplest form of network? I can just connect these two. I can use a cable. This is my PC1. This is my PC2. And I can connect them with a cable. This becomes what? A network. But this is only one network. Both are connected. This is only what? One network. Right? If I want to connect more devices, in that case, what? So if I have, let's say, 5 systems in my network, so what I can do, I can go something like I have PC1, PC2, PC3, not really good with the drawing. This is a switch, a device that has multiple ports right there. Okay, just right in front of me. Okay. So this is a device that has multiple ports and you connect all these devices. Again, what? All these devices, my local devices, I'm not connected to any outside device. All devices, they are present locally. So what it is? Again, it is one network. Now let's say I want to use internet. I want to use what? Internet. Now, if I'm using internet, that means I will be visiting maybe some website I'm visiting like google.com. Correct? Now, Google, do I own Google? No, I don't own Google, right? Google is not owned by me. That is not my network. So if I want to communicate from my network to somebody else's network, then I need a device. And what do we do at our homes? We take internet connection. We take what? Internet connection. Now, when I call my service provider will just bring me a wire and he will install a device in my home, right? And I can connect my switch to this device. They will provide you with what? A device that will have Wi-Fi capabilities, Wi-Fi router, and that router will have few ports also. Now, what did I do? I just connected my switch there. And now what is happening? I'm having communication from here to here. I'm able to use internet. Without this router, can I use the internet? No. Without this router, I cannot use the internet. Why? Because this is responsible for providing communication between these two networks. Is that clear? Okay. So what it is? It is a router. This is clear? Okay. See, use of router. One is it is providing communication between different network. Another one is it is also finding a path. But that thing we will discuss when we are discussing about routing. As of now, what we will understand that router is a device that is providing communication between different network. Is that clear? Okay. Now another device. After router, you have what? Switch. I already explained that if you take a switch, with the help of switch, what you are able to do? You are able to connect multiple devices. You are able to connect multiple devices. How does the switch looks like? See here. I'm showing you one old series router. This is how routers look like in the companies. Okay. This is how the routers look like in the company. So if you see, let's say this router, this is not a clear image. This looks clear. Okay, this is how a router looks like. So if you see, this is a router which is having only few ports. Just right now compare the ports only. How many ports? Like 4 ports it has. And if I compare this with a switch, let's say 3750. Not clear much. This is switch. Now compare the number of ports and the same switch you have right in front of you. Okay, this first device. This one. Take a look. So this is a switch that has more number of ports compared to your router. This will have more number of ports compared to your router. So what will happen? Whatever the devices I'll connect on all these ports, everybody will start communicating. They will be in the same network by default. Okay. Now, how they will be in the same network, that is part when we will be talking about IP addresses, that we have to assign IP addresses from the same network. But normal scenario, default configuration, they will be in the same network. You can consider that. Okay. So router is a device that is providing you communication between different network. What my switch was doing, it was only one network when I had only switch. So switch is providing communication within the same network, within one network. By default, switch will provide communication within the same network. Clear? Okay. Then now we need something that is known as firewall. Why do we require a firewall? Because I want security. I want security of my network. Like, what if somebody from the outside, hacker, will come into my network? He will hack my systems. I need some sort of security. And also, I want to decide that, okay, who can connect to my network, who cannot connect to my network, right? I have to decide all these things. So for providing security, I will use an extra device here, which will be what? A firewall. Now, what will be the use of the firewall? Firewall will monitor your incoming as well as outgoing traffic. Both side traffic it will monitor. And in the firewall, you will be configuring certain rules. You will be deciding that, okay, allow this traffic, do not allow this traffic. So how your firewall works? Let's say you host a party. You host a party. So at the party venue, you keep a guard. Okay, and with this guard, you give a list of, like whom you invited. Okay, people you invited. Now what will happen? If anybody will try to come, what this guard will do? He will check on the list, whether the name is there on the list or not. If the name is there, if the name is not there, not it. This is what your firewall does. Okay, that it will check your incoming as well as outgoing traffic, and then it will take an action based on that. Even in the rule, you will mention that whether you want to permit or deny. So whatever the action you will mention in the firewall, that relevant action your firewall is going to take on the traffic. Is that clear? So this is a security device. This is what? Security device. Now your firewall is present in both the forms, software form also, hardware form also. If you talk about hardware form, so under Cisco, we have two firewalls. One is ASA, which is obsolete already. Another one is FTD. Okay, these are the two firewalls that you will study in your CCI security. Okay, so ASA stands for Adaptive Security Appliance. Okay, while your FTD stands for Firepower Threat Defense. Okay, Firepower Threat Defense. Your ASA is a basic firewall, and your FTD is a next generation firewall. Okay, so these are the two devices under Cisco you will study in the firewalls. Then we have IP phones. Now, normal phone, everybody understands. Normal phone, everybody knows. How do you communicate using phone numbers? Let's say if you want to communicate with your friend, how do you communicate? You require his identity. What is the identity you use? Numbers. We use phone numbers to communicate. In IP phones, what do you use? Rather than phone number, you use IP addresses. So in the organizations, if they want voice and video communication, in that case, they will be using what? IP phones. Okay. How do your firewalls and IP phones look like? That also let me show you. When you look at the devices, they will look almost similar. Let's say if I show you ASA 5514X. Now this is a firewall. Very small. This is also not clear image. But you can see, look wise, they are same only. This one is clear. This is how a firewall looks like. So on the back of the firewall, again, you will have multiple ports only, but not as many as a switch. Okay, not as many as a switch. So this is a ASA, the basic firewall. And if you go with the FTD, power, let's say 4100. So this is how a FTD looks like. This image is not clear. This one looks good. Again, multiple ports will be there on a firewall. Then IP phones I was showing you. Okay, same like landline phones only. Okay, they will look wise, they will look similar only. But these will be using IP addresses for communication. Now, some of them will have only voice capability. Some of them will be there, which will be having voice and video capability. Okay. This is clear. Which one? For communication, like in the organizations, if they want to communicate, like normal example, if you comparative example, if you want, let's say if you go to a hotel. So in the hotel rooms, we get a phone. Now, I don't have to dial the mobile entire number there. I will just type like 100, I will dial 100, 101, I will dial, and it will go to reception and cafeteria, that kind of thing it is. That department to department, if I want to have communication, so I can just dial the IP address and I can get the communication. Okay. Okay, so then we have wireless access point. What is a wireless access point? A wireless access point, simply understand a Wi-Fi. As if you want to understand simply, you can understand it like a Wi-Fi. Now what happens? Let's say everybody gets connected to the same Wi-Fi, then they are able to communicate, right? So that means all the devices connecting to one device and they are starting to communicate. Correct? My switch also does the same thing. If I connect everything, the difference is what? In switch, I need to use wires and cables to connect. In Wi-Fi, do I need cables? No, I don't need cables. Okay. So your wireless access point, consider it as a wireless switch only. You can consider it as a wireless switch. That what it is going to do, it is going to connect multiple devices into the same network, but without wires. It will connect what? Without wires. This is clear? All right. So that is a wireless access point. Now we have wireless controller. What is a wireless controller? Something that is controlling your wireless access points. Sometimes what happens that if you work in bigger organizations, okay, you work in large organization, let's say you work in an MNC, you work in some MNC, and this MNC has, multiple floors. This has multiple floors. Okay, let's say this is your ground floor, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Overall, how many? 6. Let's say on one floor, see, one Wi-Fi is not sufficient for one floor. So let's consider on one floor how many access points we need? 5. So total how many access points I will need for my entire building? If one floor I'm using 5, so on 6 I will use how many? 30 access points. Now let's say you are the network engineer in the company. Okay. Company tells you that okay, configure the SSID Cisco. That means the name of the Wi-Fi. And password you have to configure. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What you'll do? You'll go to the first access point. You will take the access. You will do the configuration. Go for the second one. Take the access. Do the configuration. Same configuration. How many times you will repeat? 30 times. Okay. Do you think you can do the configuration with same level of attention 30 times? Same configuration? Not possible. Imagine you are configuring on the third floor something. Okay. And one of your colleague met you and you started communicating. And also you were doing the configuration at the same time. Rather than configuring your password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you said 5, 4, 6, 7, 8. Very slight mistake. And it is totally possible. What will happen? Nobody will be able to connect here. And when they will ask you what happened, what you'll say? We configured correctly. If they will ask you password, what you'll say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But will they be able to connect? Problem. Right? Human errors. Okay. Let's say you are a very good admin. You paid full attention and you configured 30 access points with full attention. No mistake done. Next day you go office. Your organization tells you that okay, our organization, like in our organization, some guests are also visiting. So create one SSID for guest also. We don't want to give them access to our internal network. So keep the password 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, how many times? Configuration 30 times again. And you have to walk down all the 5, 6 floors. Okay, you did it. Next day you go. Company says, okay, these passwords same. Can be compromised. Change the password. Again, how many times? 30 times. Is it a good solution? You will get frustrated because a person cannot do the same thing every day. Not possible. Okay. So for this reason, what do we have? We have a device, wireless controller, or we also call them WLC, wireless LAN controller. Wireless LAN controllers. What this device will do? This one device will be sitting in one location. In your entire network, it will be sitting in one location. Now what? Whatever the configuration you have to do. Yes, Raj. Any doubt?
Sorry, Ajay, nothing. Like it got unmuted.
All right. All right. So your WLC will be sitting in your network in one location. Let's say your server room. Now what? All these access points, all your 30 access points, they will be connected to the WLC. And whatever the configuration you have to do it only on the WLC and you have to do it one time. Once you do the configuration here on the WLC, immediately these devices, all your access points, they will take up the configuration and they will start broadcasting the Wi-Fi. Now, you want to do 1, 2, 10, or you want to change the password, doesn't matter what you have to do. Only one time. So one time at least we can do the configuration with full attention. Correct? Another thing, you don't have to be physically present to the WLC also to do the configuration. You are sitting anywhere in the network, just take access of your WLC using the IP address, do the configuration, automatically it will start reflecting. This is what your WLC or wireless controller is. Clear? Right? Online people, any doubt so far? Guys, any doubt? I believe that's a no. Okay. Now, other than Cisco, we have some other vendors also. It is not only that Cisco is playing in the market. So we have some other vendors as well, like we have Juniper Networks, we have Palo Alto, Checkpoint, and Barracuda. No doubt we have other vendors also, but majority of the market is acquired by Cisco. Okay. So like your Juniper deals in router switches, firewalls. Your Palo Alto deals in security devices like firewalls, checkpoint firewalls, Barracuda security also, storage also, cloud also. They deal in multiple things. Okay, so like that we have other vendors as well. But right now our training is majorly focused on Cisco, so we'll focus on Cisco devices only. Yes, you can work because concepts will remain same, but how you configure it, that will become different. How you configure it, that will become different. Sometimes what will happen, they will make changes in the names also, technology names. Okay, like if you come to the firewall part, there is a concept in Cisco, we call it as a transparent firewall. Now in some vendors, they will call is it L2 firewall, some will call virtual wire, like that. They will just change the name. Eventually, how to deploy it, that is part same. How your firewall will be functioning, that is same. So definitely they will have to keep something different. Then only they can play in the market. Otherwise, if they will start copying, then nobody is going to buy them, right? That is the part. Now about Cisco certification track. Okay. So in Cisco, we have different levels. Like we have associate level. Okay. We have professional level. We have expert level. Okay, then there was one architect level that is retired. Now this is not available in Cisco anymore. Okay, earlier this was the topmost certification in Cisco, but now it is not there. Cisco is not accepting the applications anymore. So your associate level, your CCNA, okay, this is your entry level certification where you can start your career in IT and you can start learning about networking, routing, switching fundamentals. Okay, so here what you will learn is about the fundamentals only. For all the technologies, you will be learning the fundamentals. That means here you will be creating what? Base of your networking. Okay. Now here, what will happen? You have to write one exam. If you are taking CCNA certification, you will have to write one exam. The exam is what? 200, 301. And that exam will cost you around $300 plus taxes. Cisco certifications are very expensive. Okay. Compared to other vendors. So here only one exam you have to write. Then here you're learning about fundamentals. Now you're interested in any technology. Maybe you're interested in routing switching. Maybe you're interested in security. Okay. So according to that, you will decide a domain in your professional. You will decide a domain in your professional level. So in the professional level, what you'll do, you have to write two exams here. Okay. You have to write two exams. One is core exam and second one is concentration exam. Core exam is the mandatory exam. You don't get any option or choice in this. This is the exam you have to write if you want a professional certification. Okay. And if you write the core exam, you get specialization certificate, not a professional, specialist. Because for professional level, you write two exams. If you're writing only one, you get specialist certification. In the concentration, like in core exam, you don't get choices. In concentration, you have choice. There will be 5 to 6 different technologies. Whatever the technology you feel more comfortable in, you take that exam. Core you have already taken. Both exams combined, you get professional certification. Okay. So your core exam is going to cost you around $400 plus taxes. And concentration exam will cost you around $300 plus taxes. You clear both the exams, then only you get professional. Otherwise, you don't get the professional. Is that clear? Okay. Then we have expert level. Now, whatever the domain you have selected, let's say you have selected what security domain. You are interested in security, so you got CCNP security. So in the expert level, same thing, you will master that technology. Okay. So in the expert level, you again write two exams. One is core exam, second is lab exam. This is where you start practical exams. Before CCI, you don't have practical exam. Okay. So core exam, if you have written here, if you have written the core exam here, the same exam will be considered here also. You don't have to write it again. Okay. That means $400 plus taxes saved. Lab exam. Lab exam is total 8 hours exam. Okay, this will be 8 hours exam, and this is divided into two sections. One is 3 hour section and another one is 5 hour section. In the 3 hour section, we call it as a design section, in which there will be 30 or 33 multiple choice questions. And you have to, yeah, only that. Okay. Then after you have 5 hour section, which is known as DOO. Okay. Deploy, operate, and optimize, where you will be completely doing the configurations. Okay. This is 5 hours full configuration. Slight mistake in the configuration, exam failed. Okay. So this is total 8 hours exam. Core exam cost same, $400 plus taxes. Lab exam will cost you around $1,500 plus taxes. So overall, if you want CCI certification, it will cost you around $2,000 or $2,200. Why? Again, depending on where you are taking the exam. Okay, maybe you're not interested in taking in India. Maybe you're not taking interested in taking in Bangalore. We have one center in Bangalore itself. And if not in Bangalore, then maybe you will select Dubai or Melbourne or some other centers. Okay. So like that. So if you're going somewhere for exam, then the flight tickets, your accommodation and everything, that will also cost. So like it will cost you around overall approx $2,500 you can consider. Okay. Then we have CCDE. So CCDE is again one more expert level certification where you have to write two exams. For CCDE, there is a different written exam, CCDE written and CCDE lab exam. But this is something you will take after, once you have your CCI and you have, 8 to 10 years of experience. After that, you can plan for it. Otherwise, you don't require it. Right now, CCI you can consider as the topmost certification. Is that clear? Online people?
Sir, this
Yes.
exam is mandatory to write.
Which one? No, there is no mandatory exams. Okay. You don't have any compulsion to write the exam, that you have to write the exam. You need a certification to get a job. You don't need a certification. Okay. What is the best thing you can do? You learn the technology, you take a job, and let your company sponsor your certification. Right. So this is what
Okay.
you can do. And it is not like if you are taking CCIE, if you are interested in CCI, you have to take CCNA certification, CCNP certification, not required. Directly take the core exam, directly take the lab exam, and you're good to go for certification. Okay. Plus, when you have taken core exam, see all Cisco certifications, they are valid for 3 years. So if you have taken core exam, you have 3 years of time to write the lab. You can easily prepare and write. But it is not suggested to take a long gap. Why? We become lazy. We become lazy and we stop preparing. Right? So that is the thing. Take the core, take the lab. And once you get CCI certificate, again you have 3 years of validity. That's it. After 3 years, your CCI certification is not valid. Okay. So Cisco is also changing their tracks every 3 years. Okay, Reese. That
Sir,
was
for,
yes.
so for core exam, we will get different certificate, and for lab, we'll get different certificate, or
Yes.
all together.
First of all, for once you have taken the core exam, you will get a specialist certification. As soon as you clear the lab exam, since you already have your specialization certificate, that means core certificate you already have, and you cleared the lab, now you get directly the CCI certification. Okay. So for core, definitely you will get a separate certificate, and combined one CCI certificate you will get. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. So earlier what was happening, like, we in CCNA itself, not just CCNP, CCNA also we were having the same thing, in the next slide it is coming up, that earlier what we were having, that in CCNA itself we were having different domains. Okay. But there was a problem that time, it was mandatory that if you're interested in routing switching, then first go with the CCNA enterprise certification, then CCNP enterprise. Okay. So like that it was. But later on, what Cisco did, Cisco merged everything into one certification. Okay, Cisco merged everything into one certification and it became CCNA 200-301. Okay. So this CCNA 200-301, this is something that we are going to study. Okay. And one more thing here, that if all these things are getting combined into one, imagine the amount of syllabus that could have been, right? 6 different technologies into one. So what Cisco did, they kept the fundamental part here, and most of the detailed configuration part they moved to the CCNP. Okay. So earlier in CCNP also we were having like routing, switching, but now we don't have something like that. We have core. Okay, like if you are interested in security. So for security in the CCNP, they have exams like S4, security core. Then other technologies like ICE. Okay, they have WSA. Then they have ESA. Like that, different certification you have. So once you have taken core, now you can select that, okay, I am more comfortable in working on WSA device. See here, most of the things are devices in security. Okay, so you feel like, okay, this is the device I can more comfortably work on. So I'll go for certification of this. And these two combined, I can get a professional certification. Yeah, CCNP. For any professional, whether you are going for security or enterprise or service provider or data center, two certifications are there. One will be core, one will be concentration. Okay. Let me show you this. Here. This is like it. For enterprise, you have N4. Then these are the different 6. Out of 6, you select any one. Same like that in the service provider, in the data center, in the security, in the collaboration, everywhere. In the concentration, you get multiple options. So core is mandatory, and out of these, you can select any one, whatever you feel comfortable in, and you get the professional certification. Clear? Okay. Then this is the certification track from Cisco. Okay. So here, what is happening once you have done CCNA, then you can select any domain, service provider, data center, enterprise, security, or collaboration. Okay, you can go for any of these domains. Now what? Once you have taken CCNA, then you can go for enterprise. Let's say specialization means core exam only. So you can go for CCNP enterprise, then CCI enterprise. If you are going for security, CCNA, CCNP security, and CCI security. Okay, like this you can go. So these things you can do. But for CCI security specifically, what do we suggest? We don't suggest that you go with the CCNA, then CCNP, CCI security. Because once you study CCNA, directly you'll start working on the devices. That means security devices. But we need you to have some knowledge of routing switching also. So that's why what do we suggest? CCNA, CCNP enterprise, then after CCNP, CCI security. Okay. So this pathway, what will happen? You will get knowledge of your routing switching also in detail, and then you can secure the devices also. You can secure your traffic also. Is that clear? So like this it is. Then after this is about the exam. Okay. That for CCNA, your examination code or course code is what? 200-301. The examination post. This is the duration, 2 hours exam it is. Validity is 3 years. Number of questions will be between 100 to 120. And the passing score is 85%. Okay. Then we have to talk about modules. Just give me a moment, I'll be back. Guys, please wait for a moment. So about the modules, these are the modules. Networking fundamentals we have. Then we have IP connectivity, network access, IP services, okay, security fundamentals, and wireless and automation. So some part of almost all the technologies from enterprise, so security, data center, your collaboration, okay, from everywhere we have some part of it. Like I said, all these different technologies, they got merged into one. So let me show you what all the things we have in our curriculum. So this is official Cisco CCNA curriculum. Okay. So you can see 20% of the questions will be there from the network fundamentals. And right now, see, when you will see the syllabus, most of it, you will find that, we have something like explain, describe, compare, explain, describe, compare. These kind of keywords will be there. That means if you consider your CCNA, it is 70% theoretical. Okay, 70% theoretical it is and 30% practical it is. But we will not go in this way. Okay, anywhere possible, I will use practicals. Okay, more and more, I'll try to make it practical. Wherever possible, I'll show you practicals. Okay, so 20% you have network fundamentals where you have introduction to devices like routers, L2, L3 switches, firewalls, like what we were generally studying, discussing right now, right? Then after we have topologies and physical interfaces and different cables we have to study about, then cable issues, TCP, UDP, these are two important protocols for communication. Like I was telling you in the beginning also that TCP is highly important. Okay, so these protocols we will be discussing. Then IP addressing, we'll discuss what is IP addressing, what is subnetting, okay, what are private addresses. Other than this, then next we will have about IPv6 also. Okay, what are the different types, how you can assign IP in different OS. Then we have some part of wireless also. Okay. Virtualization we have, then switching concepts we have. Okay. Then again, next 20% from the module 2, which is network access. Okay. This is all about switching. You will study about VLANs, inter-switch connectivity, CDP, LLDP protocols, Ether channels, STP protocols. Okay. Then again, some part of wireless again. So do you see the wireless part? It is scattered, in the section 1, section 2, like that. Then after 25% is from, see, 85% you need. So 20% we got in the network fundamental, 20% in the network access. That means layer 2 information. And 25% from the IP connectivity. That means routing, where you will be working on the router. So already 65%. Okay. So you will be discussing about routing table, how your router makes the forwarding decision, what is IPv4 and IPv6 static routing. In the default, in the dynamic routing, we have only one type of routing here, which is OSPF. Okay, and even the OSPF is given only for single area. So multi-area was earlier it was there, but when Cisco merged different technologies into one, that was too much. So that's why they moved it to the NP. Then, like here it says, describe the purpose of FHRP. Now, if I describe in one line today also, I can say in the first session that, okay, your internet gateway, if it goes down, it requires redundancy. That is what your FHRP is in one line. That your router is down. In place of router, I'm using a backup router. That is my FHRP. But you will not understand what happened, how it happens, right? So for that reason, even there also, I'll be showing you practicals. Okay. Then we have IP services 10%. So this will, talk about NAT concepts, that address translation concepts we'll discuss. Now here only two things are given. I'll show you more. Okay. Then we do have NTP. Okay. Now here it says explain the role of DHCP and DNS. Now role of DHCP in one line today also I can say the same thing. That okay, your system when you connect to the Wi-Fi, automatically it gets an IP address. How it gets from the DHCP. So what is the use of DHCP? It gives IP addresses automatically. Used to assign IP addresses automatically to the client devices. One line done. But we will not be doing like this. Okay. We will be going in depth and we will be learning the technologies. Okay. So I'll tell you about DHCP, DNS. I'll tell you about SNMP also. And with practical, I'll show you how SNMP works. About syslog, I'll show you how you can use syslog. So most of the things you see here, explain, describe, only configure. Configuration part is very less. Then we'll talk about DHCP client and relay, then quality of service. Okay. Then we have SSH. I'll also show you telnet configurations. Then we have that describe the capability of TFTP and FTP. Okay. File transfer protocols. But these are very important in the organization. Okay. So here I'll tell you one important thing, that how you can take backup of the configurations of your devices as well as the operating system of your device. Then how you can restore them in case you lost your configurations or operating system, how you're going to restore them back. So those things we'll be discussing now, not in the syllabus, but as per interview perspective and as per organization perspective, these are very important. Okay. So those things we'll be discussing. Then some security fundamentals are there, which will consist of 15%. So in this, you will have introduction to what is threat, vulnerability, exploit, and mitigation techniques. Then you have like what are the security program elements, awareness trainings, physical access control, these things we can employ. Then how you can set up passwords on your device. Okay, those things we'll discuss. Password policies, like, how you will manage your password, what should be the complexity, small character, upper character, special character, right? So those kind of things should be there. Multi-factor authentication, certificate or biometric authentication should be there. Then we'll talk about site-to-site and remote access VPN. We'll talk about access list. Then we'll talk about layer 2 security features, which is dynamic app inspection, DHCP snooping, and port security. Then we have AAA concept, only 3 terms. Okay. Then wireless security protocols, again, you see some part of wireless is here also. So what we will do, we will not go in the same flow. Okay. We are not going to go in the same sequence as the curriculum. We will cover all the topics, but we will not study like, okay, some part of wireless I'll tell you on day 1 and some part in the day 5 and some part on the day 15, because you'll forget and you'll not be able to relate also. So what we'll do, like, we can dedicate one entire session for wireless itself. One day, beginning till ending, wireless, so that everything we can cover. And that time you can relate also, and with practical also, I can show you that this is how you can manage. Like right now, I was talking about WLC. So with practical, I'll show you how you can configure WLC and how the devices, they will be taking the configurations and everything. Okay. Then we have some part of automation also. Okay, where we'll be talking about how automation impacts network management. So automation has really, changed the industries. Talk about any industry you talk about, as simple as that, we use escalators. Someday we used to walk stairs, right? Now we don't have to walk stairs. Stairs are walking for us. Correct? That is automation only. So how the impact automation is impacting your network management. Then we will compare old networks, traditional network, with the controller based network. This one, I can say that, okay, today itself I explained you. Wireless access point, you were configuring 30 times manually. Then we used a controller. And what was the difference? Clear? So then we'll talk about, the SDN architectures, what are overlay, underlay, and fabric networks, what is control plane, data planes, what are northbound and southbound APIs. So here, don't worry, you don't require any sort of programming here. In CCNA level, we will not require programming. We just need to come across the terminologies, that what are the terminologies will be used. So that when you go to the CCNP level and when you study about, network automation, there you can comfortably work on it. Okay. There you will be taught about, Python also, Ansible also, these kind of things you will be taught about, and then you can perform network automation live. So this is the section that is there to make you comfortable with the terminologies that will be used. Okay. Then after you have, traditional campus device management and what is Cisco DNAC. So DNAC is again a controller only, you can say, for automation. Then APIs. So what are APIs? How they will be used? Okay. Then after we will talk about, different mechanisms like Puppet, Chef, and Ansible. But out of these 3, always you will see Ansible will be used. Okay. I'll show you and I'll tell you that why these are not used, but mostly Ansible will be used. Then after JSON, so this REST API, it uses the JSON data. Okay, a language for communication. So I'll show you that how you can read the JSON data. Okay, that part we have to discuss, and with this, your curriculum will finish. So as of now, this might looks like a lot of things to study. Okay, but don't worry. By the end of CCNA, you will be comfortable in all these things. Clear? Guys, online people, any doubt?
No, sir.
All right. Then, reference time frame you can talk about. So like if you are taking CCNA, it will take around 1 month of time, 5 weeks. Okay. And then CCNP. So depending on 3 months we say because routing, switching, advanced, three things we have divided into. But it totally depends on how many batches you take a day. If you are taking 3 batches a day, you can complete it in 1 month also. Okay. So that will completely depend on how many batches you are taking a day. So this is a reference time. So 6 to 8 months, you can easily complete your CCA also. Okay. And if you are taking multiple batches, then 4 to 6 months you can complete. Okay. Then the software that I was talking about, which was Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'll be showing you how to download this software, how to install it, how to set it up in your system, how you will be working in the workspace, how you'll take the routers, how you'll make the connections, configurations, all those things I'll be showing you. So as of now, as per CCNA level, you don't need to know anything. I'll be telling you everything from the scratch itself. Is that clear? Any doubts? So now let me do one thing. This was the introduction I had to discuss today. And now what I'll do, I'll share the form link with you guys so that you guys can submit the form. So for that, let me just